Host, James the Orator. Hey, you know what? We thank you all for continuing to support our efforts. We have just had an overwhelming, the response has been crazy. And I appreciate you all. If you did not see our episode from last week, I brought all three of my sons on and we talked about, we had a real father-son talk. And you know what? Some people are going to be helped. I think people are going to be helped because they were very, very transparent with me in terms of what I did as a father, whether it be good or bad. Because you know what? There's no book on how to raise, a child. Every child is different. And so we had a really, really good time with my sons. Again, if you have not saw that video, you need to go and watch it. We also want to encourage you to subscribe, like, and share our YouTube channel. We're picking up a lot of momentum. People are getting excited about what we're doing. If you think about the platform, it's all about highlighting ordinary people who have gone on to do extraordinary things. And so everything that we do, it's almost like a huge self-help book. And so we've been helping people, and I'm excited about that. It's all about legacy, legacy building. That's where we are. Well, hey, you know what? One of the things that we have to talk about, and we know that Thanksgiving, October is right around the corner. Before you know it, it'll be November. And so I know some of you all will go to Big Mama's house, or the new Big Mamas, and have food. But I want to introduce someone who started out at Big Mama's, and she still might be at Big Mama's sometimes, but she took food to a whole nother level. Let me introduce our guest. Jaszina Maria was born and raised in Gary, Indiana, and is the third oldest of 6 children. Her mother instilled the value of hard work, attending school, and learning a trade. Not only did her mother pour into her, but her grandmother would often tell her, find something that you love and you will never work a day in your life. After graduating from high school, Juszina attended the Indianapolis Chef Academy, graduating with honors. She then decided to share her gift by becoming the CEO and owner of Classy Diva Caterers. Her outstanding contributions and active involvement in the Indianapolis community has proven hard work does pay off. As a member of Indie Kitchen and the author of a book entitled number one bestseller entitled Favor, F-A-V-A. Y'all better go get that book, F-A-V-A. She's been able to showcase her culinary progress and unwavering dedication to the local food scene. Her commitment to social and economic empowerment is clear through her collaboration with several corporate businesses. In recent years, she has showcased her skills with professional sports communities, where she's partnered with the Indianapolis Pacers Sport and Entertainment and the Indiana Fever. Chef Jaszina not only showcases her talents in Indianapolis, but she has also traveled throughout the state of Indiana, Chicago, Atlanta, and the state of Florida. Chef Jaszina Maria plans to open her own restaurant. I can't wait for that, where she will develop her own spice line. And get this, y'all won't believe this. She owns her own insurance agency. And so I can't wait to get on here so we can hear about how she's juggling all these hats. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Miss Jaszina Maria. Hey.
Hi, James. Thank you so much for having me. I am so actually delighted to be a part of your podcast today. So thank you.
Yeah, no doubt. You know what? As I was reading your bio, you have done so many things, and I want to start off talking about this food because as a kid, I was you probably know this, but probably I haven't grown much since about 7th grade. But even before then, I was a little short, fat kid where I was in the cookies and all the sweets. Talk a little bit about your start with food.
Well, James, it all started, and actually, I was going to say I didn't have a choice, but we women, girls, growing up in a household of 10, my mother would be like the go-to house. So all my cousins, everyone wanted to spend the night, and my mother would do all the cooking. And so she would have the girls in the kitchen at age 6, 7, chopping bell peppers, onions, you name it, we had to do it. And the boys were out doing their own little thing, yard work or whatever. But and I was just amazed. I guess it was just like the magic to me to see, like, from the beginning to the end, and seeing how my mother prepared dishes. And I was just so amazed to just see the food, how it looked, how it tastes. And I'm so big on plate presentation, period, because you taste with your eyes before your mouth. So I started, oh my goodness, probably at 7 years old in the kitchen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's great. As I think about, growing up in my household, we had all boys in our family. So I've heard, families just say, hey, the boys got in the kitchen too, but we were like your brothers. I mean, we were kind of out. And so even to this day, and I hate to admit this, I'm not a great cook. I can cook breakfast, but I'm not a great cook when it comes to, making meals. So when you talk about that experience of early on, being in the kitchen with your mother, talk about the types of food you all made, because, it sounds like, just from what I've seen from your pictures, you've probably turned the corner a little bit in terms of what you're preparing now.
Absolutely. Growing up, it was soul food. My mom would always, every Sunday, we would always have real big dinners. And then she would also make dessert. And to the day, James, and this is so hilarious, whenever I eat, my mind says to me, it's automatically programmed that I have to have a dessert. I have to have some sweet, because mom used to make fried apple pies to German chocolate cake too. And we would have these things every single Sunday. And so I have 2 grown boys, and my sons know how to cook, because, in this day and time, the world we live in, it's a microwave society. Everyone wants things really, really quick. Right. So I instilled in my boys the knowledge to know how to get out here and cook for yourself and don't depend on no one else.
There you go.
So, but yeah, my cooking career with the culinary and the Chef Academy, it did help me from taking that soul food until from taking the soul food to another level. Wow. So, and I was just always intrigued as a kid on how things would turn out. It was like magic, when you're a kid and you see something and you're like, wow, that's amazing, and then as you get older, just to put those flavors together and just see a person, taste my food and close their eyes and tap their foot, and they're like, oh my God, this is like the best thing ever. That just brings joy to my heart. Just joy.
Yeah, you're lighting up when you talk about that experience. Talk about your relationship with food, because oftentimes, if we think back to, going to grandmother's house or growing up like you did, we often, there's often this picture of what we see when we talk about soul food, of maybe, people who are overweight and, in the kitchen. Talk about your relationship with food and how it did impact or didn't impact, but then also, had this inquiry to, take it to the next level.
Well, basically, gosh, where can I start? When I said I was intrigued by food, and just like I mentioned earlier, I know a person tastes with their eyes before they do their mouth. And I was just, as I gotten older, I was just like, would watch like all day, every day. I would just watch like culinary movies, to the Iron Chef, to Chef Ramsay, to all these people were very, like, everything that they did was very impressive. And I said to myself, okay, I know how to cook. And then I started putting my spin on it. So when I went to the Chef Academy, it just took me to another level. And it gave me all the knowledge that I need to know as far as temperature control and different things like that. Because when you're growing up as a little kid, and when you're at Big Mama's house, Big Mama is not taking a thermometer, sticking it in her food, and saying, okay, this is 165 degrees. Let me take this out. Right. Like chicken, for example. Yeah, like chicken, for example. You frying chicken wings, and when the chicken is done, it starts floating. Right. So all of those things, I did take with me to the Chef Academy. And actually, that's why I graduated with honors, because it helped me. It's like the base, the format. mom and grandma laid the format, and then I just took it from there.
You know,
So, and it's been a lesson.
oh man, that's exciting. That's exciting because you know what? I'm sure there are a number of people who might be watching this who may know how to cook, and
Right.
so to be able to go from the kitchen with your mom, and then being able to go to this academy, what were your thoughts before you decided to go to the academy? I mean, what was that experience like to go from okay, I got to take home cooking to a very structured environment? What was that like?
It was kind of crazy, James, because I was sitting in class, and of course, the majority of the people were younger than I was. And then I would see other nationalities, and they were sticking a thermometer in their food. And like they had one celebration, it was like for Black History Month, and we had fried chicken and greens and peas and all this, and they were sticking the thermometer in their chicken, and it was like, how do you know your chicken is done? And it was like I took all that knowledge that I learned from home, and then I had to kind of put it into a more structured format. How they wanted me to do everything. But sometime I will run into challenges because they were like, well, you have to do it this way. And I'm saying to myself, okay, if I do it this way, it's more than one way to skin a cat, is what what my mom and grandmother used to say. And so you just have to, I just had to take everything that I knew and learn from what they were teaching me. And then when it was time to be in these competitions and have all these different contests, I was able to ace it. Not only did I have the base of how to cook, I was able to combine my knowledge from home. It always goes back to home.
That's right.
What they were teaching me at the school. So I was able to combine those two together. And now, by God's grace, I have been unstoppable. It's amazing to me, James. I can't even begin to tell you the level of, oh my goodness, the level of gratefulness that I have in my soul. Yeah, in my soul. Oprah Winfrey once said, she said that we all were born with a purpose in life.
That's it.
Until we figure out our purpose, we'll be able to make our own destiny.
That's it.
And I just feel like I was born for this. This is what I was born to do.
Yeah. You know what? I definitely agree. We all have gifts, and it's sometimes it's sad. People live their entire lives and never take the time to figure out why they were put here. And so again, each time you talk about stories that are leading up to you going to school and being in that kitchen with your mom or grandma, you can tell that your face lights up. I mean, there's a light that's shining when you talk about that. And I think that's a great thing to be able to find your purpose. So we started home, we go to the academy, we graduate with honors. And so what do we do next?
Well, what we did next, I was a personal chef. Actually, I've been here in Indianapolis since '99.
Okay.
So when I moved here, I got a job doing insurance, and it was in a call center. And I was working a full-time job, and I was going to school full-time because I knew that I needed to have my job to help me get to where I wanted to be.
That's right.
And so by me going to school at the same time, when I graduated, I was like, okay, what's next? Let me do this personal chef thing. And then eventually that's when the catering company was birthed. Right. That's when my baby was born.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And by me doing the personal chef, we ran into the pandemic. A lot of people couldn't afford to keep me. So I went back to school and ended up getting my license to eventually run my own agency for the insurance. And so it was on the back burner. And with that being said, and the reason why I'm giving you this, taking you through all of this is because I don't care how many jobs you have and how many roadblocks get in your way. You're going to get there because we all were born with a purpose. You're going to get to your destination. Roadblocks will come, and sometimes other people get to their destination faster than you.
Yeah.
But I walk through life with blinders on. I'm like a horse. If I worry about what this person is doing on the left and this person is doing on the right, I would never get to my destination. But it has been a struggle. But in spite of the struggle, You have to sit down. You have to make a plan. I knew that I was going to work the insurance and I was going to go to school, get my license, open up my own company. Wow. And it took me a while to get to my destination, but I'm still struggling with the insurance company and the catering company, and in the process of opening up my own restaurant here soon. Wow. So I know that my calling is to cook. That's what my calling is. Yeah, my calling is to cook. But I've made such a big impact on people because I've been able to help people with all their insurance needs, and at the same time give them recipes, cook for them, tell them what works, tell them what doesn't work. So I'm known down here as the cooking insurance lady.
Okay, all right. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong. You know what? You are what we call a serial entrepreneur, because not only do you have a catering company, and we're going to talk about your private parties too, because my wife and I, we were talking about that. And then you have the insurance company. Then you talk about opening a restaurant. And so, you know what, to have that type of desire, sometimes people who the perception of Gary, Indiana sometimes is not always the best. I mean, people are saying this and saying that about people from Gary. But talk about what Gary meant to you and how that has been a springboard for what you're doing right now.
You know what, when I think about Gary, that is where my foundation started. And I have so much love for our city. I am blessed to make connections with people that I've made connections with from growing up, because the majority of people that are in Gary are from the South. So we have that Southern hospitality.
That's right. That's right.
And because we were raised up with so many morals and just our upbringing with respect and just love for each other, believe it or not, James, that will take you very, very far in life.
It will.
When I moved here in Indianapolis, I ran into a lot of people. And what I noticed, the difference between being here and being back home, people help you. Here in Indianapolis, it's like you have to really jump through hoops to get the assistance that you need.
Yeah.
And people will only give you bits and pieces, or they probably won't give you any information at all.
Yeah.
And people always say, you are so blessed, and how are you able to do X, Y, Z? That's because if you can help a person, help them. I will give a person my last. I don't worry about tomorrow, because I know that if God brought me this far, he's going to continue to take me to the next level.
Come on.
I don't worry about withholding any information from young dreamers that want to be a chef just like me, an executive chef like me. So I don't withhold anything, and it's enough food out here for us all to eat.
That's it.
And I believe
literally and figuratively.
Yes. What God has for you, it is for you at the end of the day. So that's why I'm blessed, because I help the next person.
That's it.
I don't worry about what tomorrow is going to bring.
We may have to add another title to your preacher.
Absolutely, but James, I'm just being.
I know. I'm
honest. I'm serious. It's been an amazing journey.
Sure.
It's been an amazing journey.
Now, something you mentioned again. I told you I was going to come back to this. My wife and I were talking, and we said, "Wow, what if we could do a private party where we could have chef to do it for us?" And so and I know I was kind of reading your bio, and I was on your website, and folks, if you all haven't been to the website, it's right here on the tickler. Make sure you go and check it out. But if someone wanted to have a private party, it appears that they can do it in two ways, one of two ways. You can either come to their house, and I think it's on your website, it says $150 per person, or it's $100 per person if they come to you have a private location. Talk a little bit about this chef, this traveling chef, or I don't know what you call it, but talk a little bit about that.
Well, what that is, and those prices that you gave out, it's cooking lessons.
Oh, okay.
It's with the cooking lesson. So if you want me to come to your destination and give you a cooking lesson, and if you come to my destination, it includes the food and different things like that. So that's what the different prices are. So I also do like I do virtual cooking classes that I did for our sorority, Sigma Gamma Rho. We do like virtual cooking classes for like different holidays and different things like that. Mm-hmm. So it's a different price for that too. But if you want me to like come to your house, then that's when it's like an extra, well, not an extra, but the price is like a $25 difference.
Yeah.
But then if you come like to my kitchen, which I cook out of Indy's kitchen, if you come to the kitchen, then it will knock that off because I don't have to worry about travel time.
So
the
either
food is included.
Okay, so the food is included either way or no?
Yeah, the food is included either way. The
Okay.
food is included either way. It's just the difference because of my travel time.
Okay. Now, how large can your cooking classes be? I mean, can you is the capacity? Can you take 25 people? Is it just 10 people, 5? I mean, what does that look like?
Oh no, I can take a minimum of at least 15 to 20 people, and I can go all the way up to 50 people.
And that's if we come to your location.
Yes, sir.
Or someone's house.
Or someone's house.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
I think we're gonna probably book you because we have some friends. We talked to them about it, and they said that'll be fun to have a cooking class and have somebody to kind of, I like to learn how to cook a little bit better. I can cook a pretty good omelet, but some other things. Well, good. Hey, you know what? That's exciting. So you start this class, you get into insurance. People didn't know you. I didn't know you were Sigma Gamma Rho, but hey, I'm Q Psi Phi. You know what I mean? So talk a little bit about you get this great opportunity to work for an NBA team, not only just the Pacers, sports and entertainment, but also the Indiana Fever. How does this? Because in my opinion, this is huge. I mean, to be able to take your talent from being the top student in your class, your cooking class, but your what is it called? Culinary class, and then to catapult to working with a professional sports team with 2 sports teams. Talk about how that happened.
You know what, James, and it's just so funny. Before I go off into telling you how that happened, I just want to tell you that again, when God has a plan for your life, He will put the right people in your life, and He would open up the right door so that you can get to your destination. Whether a person thinks that you need to be there or not, it all goes back to what God says. And so I don't know. I started cooking and had my website up, and just recently got my website updated. And then before I knew it, I cooked for one place, and then one place told another place about me. And these were like corporations. And before I knew it, I got a referral. Someone sent in some information, and a girlfriend of mine had told me about they had a guest chef program over at the Field House. And so I was like, a guest chef program. Okay. And so I had inquired about the program, and they only pick like one establishment, like per quarter or whenever they have it. And so I was picked to be the guest chef down at the Field House.
Wow.
And from there, it was just like a domino effect. I had like people that were there at the games, and I sold out all 3 days that I was there. I ended up selling out. And then I had, because you never know who's watching you, James. You even told me that. You never know who's watching. So I had so many people out in the audience. Even the news stations were out there. The next thing I know, the news ended up calling me, and it was like, hey, we were at the Pacers game, and we wanted to know if you could do XYZ, come on our show, do a cooking segment. And this was just a few months ago for Reach TV News 8.
Wow.
And then prior to that, I came out with my cookbook, and Channel 13, somebody out here that I've cooked for, they end up giving my information to Channel 13, and they called me because my cookbook went @1 on Amazon when it came out. And it's just like, I'm like, okay, God, I see what you're doing. It's like I'm gonna have to hang up these insurance shoes pretty soon, but. But yeah, and so
and silence.
Yeah.
That's great. Now your cookbook, Talk about how that's structured. I mean, do you just have recipes in there, or is it just a combination of? I mean, do you tell stories? I mean, talk a little bit about the book real quick.
Yeah, the cookbook, actually, it came out during the holiday. It came out during the pandemic when I was in between careers, just like everybody else. It was a holiday edition. And not only is it a cookbook, it has a grocery list in there. It has motivational messages.
Wow.
It has stories in there, talk about different things that I've gone through where I can help other people. With the grocery list, you can screenshot it with your phone. And it has different foods, to Cornish hens, to asparagus, to shrimp double eggs, to chicken and dressing. It has just about a little bit of everything in there, but it came out during the holiday, so it's a holiday edition.
Wow, that's exciting. That's exciting.
Yeah.
So you have, boy, you've done a lot. You've done a lot. You've done a lot, and it's only 24 hours in a day, but you're making it happen.
Yeah.
So the Pacers situation. I got to get back to this because this is now. What about the players? Have they had an opportunity to try any of your food?
That I'm not for certain, because what I've been cooking for, it's been like when they have different games. Just the Pacers staff. I cook for the whole staff. I cook during games. When they have a Juneteenth event, I just cook for that. They also do a lot of sponsorship throughout the city. And so because I cook for the Pacers, the Fever reached out to me and they wanted me to do a partner with the school board system, which I got another event coming up with the school board next month. And so, James, when you give it 100%, well, 110%, one person will tell 10 people, 10 people will tell 50. And before you know it, your phone is ringing off the hook.
You better believe it.
And so I had, because I cook for the Urban League too. And I had asked one of the owners over there, you know, I appreciate that they keep calling me. And I was like, well, why do you keep calling me? You know, I want to know, you know, I need some feedback. And she was like, because your presentation is everything. And your food is amazing, and you're very professional, and we are going to continue to call you.
Wow.
And so whenever you're doing something, you have to give it 110%. And everybody that knows me know I'm a perfectionist.
That's right.
And I have to have things done right. And my thing is, because I wear so many hats, sometimes I don't like to delegate because my name is on what I do.
Right.
And so I want to make sure everything is done correctly. But I couldn't get here without my team. So I have a team that I work with, and they already know, okay, y'all know Chef, y'all gonna have to bring it. And so they already know. They already know. Yes.
Wow. That is exciting. I'm really proud of what you're doing. It's, you know, you're making a mark, you're leaving a legacy, and that's what this thing is really all about. So I wanna, you know, as we come to an end here, I want to hear a little bit about your, as much as you can tell us, because I know you're still on the journey, but talk a little bit about your restaurant that's going to be launching soon.
Oh, James, I am in the process right now, trying to get some things together. And so I don't want to tell you exactly what type of restaurant it's going to be, because not only is it going to be a restaurant, it has a little bit of spin that will cater to a lot of men.
Oh,
and a lot of women too.
Okay.
So it's gonna be a 2-part restaurant.
Okay.
And so I am looking to eventually open up one here in Indianapolis, one your way, well, one back home, one in Atlanta. I just want to have a whole franchise.
Wow.
So I am praying and in constant prayer that I would get the amount of funding that I need, and also investors that can help me take this thing to the next level.
You need investors?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
We'll talk offline. That's good stuff. Good stuff.
So
okay.
It is in the making right now. And I'm very excited because it's going to be my second baby. And I'm looking, it's going to be an upscale restaurant. And so I'm looking to do some things that no one else has done.
You know, I know you're gonna make sure it's right. You're gonna make sure it's right. You know what? There's a young person who is just about ready to graduate from high school. there's a mom who has been in a bad place. Maybe she has lost her job and she's looking to start a new career. Maybe there's a dad who has been laid off and he is trying to make, like Dion said, the ends see each other, but they don't meet. And so, what message do you have for someone who might be considering a career in becoming a chef?
I would say it all starts with the plan. I'm a visual person, James, and I write everything down.
Mm-hmm.
And every single day of my life, I have a checklist. I used to call it a to-do list, but a to-do list, you never finish. You just continue to add on, add on, add on.
Right.
So I have like vision boards that I have made. I have made a list that I go by every single day. And it's just like we're getting this restaurant together. You have to do your homework. You have to do your research. And people always say, well, I can't do XYZ because I got this going on and I got that going on. And it's just not good for me. It's going to never be a good time for you. You have to just jump in and you have to take that leap of faith. And if entrepreneurship was easy, we'll all be doing it. It's
That's
not
right.
easy. It was so many days, James, I was like, oh God, I got this cushion career with this insurance. Maybe I can just continue to do insurance. But no matter how I sit and sell policies and write business, my headspace always go to a recipe, a creation. And so anybody that wants to become a chef, they need to write everything down that they want to do. And then they need to check into a culinary program at their nearest college. And they do have financial assistance. They have so many things out here to help us. Unfortunately, because of the George Floyd, the state has so much money out here for us. I sit on many, many boards, and they have so much money out here that can help us out. And a lot of people don't even know about the funds that they have out here.
Right.
And but you just have to ask. You just be surprised how many people that God will put in your life if you would just take the leap of faith. It says faith without work is dead.
It's dead.
So you have to do your homework, because you can pray all day. I ran into people and they like, and I've been praying that God would just bless me with the job, but you haven't put in any applications.
Right. You don't have a resume. You ain't have a resume.
Right. You don't even have a resume. What are you doing to get to your destination?
That's it.
What are you doing? So you have to, I'm a religious person. I pray all day, every day. I pray about everything. I'm not perfect Patty, and I make mistakes, but you have to fall before you could exceed.
Exactly.
You have to fall. I fail so many times, James, and I'm going to continue to have roadblocks, and I'm going to continue to fall. But the thing is that you got to get back up.
That's it.
You got to want it. You got to want it.
Yeah, I think people, I think that might be the barrier for a lot of people. Just from talking, people are afraid to fail, and again, failure is a part of the growth and development process of getting to your destination.
Right.
And so we have to believe that, and like you said, we have to have some faith and move so we can see what we have for us. Because everything has already been planned for us already, but we have to get into our lane and move. So, Chef, hey, I definitely appreciate you taking the time today. This has been a fruitful conversation. I mean, you have been very transparent, like I thought you would. I mean, I'm very intentional about the people who I want to talk to on Super Speak Sundays, because I've just watched you from afar. I told you that. So I said, man, she's doing some good stuff. And so I want you to continue to do that. You never know who's watching you. And so I know you always put your best foot forward.
Yes. And I look forward to the dinner party and to cooking with you guys, creating a menu and bringing all those good ingredients to your house and all that good stuff.
Well, sounds good. Good. Well, thanks again, Chef. We appreciate you.
And thank you, James, for having me. You be blessed and enjoy the rest of your week, okay?
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon. Oh, boy. You all heard it from there. Y'all heard it from the chef. Man, you know what? We all have a beginning point where we started as young people, and there were things that we were taught, things that we saw. But sometimes we let things kind of fall through the cracks and we don't follow through. And I think Chef said something that was very, very important. That's that, we have to have a little faith to step into our purpose. And so, you know what? Each of you have a purpose, but I'm wondering what it's going to take for you to step into it. Think about that. Think about that. And until next time, you've been with James the Orator here on Super Speak Sundays. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Give us some comments. Let us know how you like different episodes. And that way we'll know what direction to move in. What else do you like? What else do you want to see? All right? Hey, don't forget we love you, and we look forward to seeing you soon.